It's time to fight dirty.
Time to sweep the leg, Johnny.
Hey! Pick on someone your own size.
That's such a you thing to say. Go get him, Tiger!
We need a Colossus movie. And I'm not talking about the movie on the famous Greek sun god Helios statue, the Colossus of Rhodes. I'm talking about the Russian Marvel character Colossus, aka Piotr Nikolayevich Rasputin. Colossus has shown up quite a few times in the movies, but honestly, none of them really did him justice, or even tried to dive into his backstory. He made a small cameo in X-Men, played by Donald McKinnon, just as a student at Xavier's. Then Daniel Cudmore took over in X2 and X-Men The Last Stand, where Colossus officially joined the X-Men. He showed up again in Days of Future Past, helping out in the fight against the Sentinels, but got killed off, though that timeline gets reset. A promo for the movie even hinted that he was one of the mutant babies born after the Chernobyl disaster, but that never made it into the film. Then there's the Deadpool era, where Colossus was fully CGI, voiced by Stefan Kapičić, and brought to life through motion capture. He had a bigger role there, being Deadpool's moral compass in both Deadpool and Deadpool 2, and he's back again in Deadpool and Wolverine. But still, we've never gotten a true look at who Piotr Rasputin really is, his roots, his story, his struggles. Just surface-level stuff. It's time the MCU finally gives Colossus the spotlight he deserves. If you don't know much, then let me give you a little background on this guy. Colossus first showed up in Giant Size X-Men #1 back in May 1975, drawn by Dave Cockrum. His real name is Piotr Peter Rasputin, and he grew up on a Soviet collective farm near Lake Baikal in Siberia with his parents, Alexandra and Nikolai, and his little sister Ilyana. His older brother Mikhail was a Soviet cosmonaut who is thought to have died in a rocket crash. A 2006 comic miniseries called Colossus Bloodline revealed that the family is actually descended from Grigory Rasputin and a Romani woman named Elena. Peter discovered his mutant abilities as a teen when he saved his sister from being crushed by a runaway tractor. Not long after, Professor X reached out and invited him to join the X-Men. Peter Rasputin was part of the second wave of X-Men that Charles Xavier brought together to rescue the original team from a living island called Krakoa. He agreed to leave his quiet life on the farm in Siberia and head to the US with Xavier, who gave him the codename Colossus. After the rescue mission, he stuck around and became a full-time member of the new X-Men team. Colossus is usually shown as calm and kind-hearted. He doesn't like violence and would rather take a hit than deal one out. Still, he's not afraid to throw down when needed. Early on, he took part in big battles like fighting the Shi'ar Imperial Guard and exploring the Savage Land, where he met a woman named Nuriel. Even though he moved to the US, Peter never forgot his roots and wrote home often. But things got intense when a woman named Miss Locke kidnapped the X-Men's loved ones, including Peter's little sister Ilyana, to force the team to rescue her boss, Arcade. Arcade brainwashed Peter into becoming the Proletarian, turning him against his teammates until they snapped him out of it. Ilyana was rescued and ended up living with Peter at Xavier's mansion. Later, though, she got trapped in a strange dimension called Limbo, where time moved differently. While barely any time passed on Earth, she aged years there and eventually became the sorceress Magic. In an alternate timeline, Colossus actually dies trying to save her from that same dimension. During a fight with the reality-warping mutant Proteus, Colossus made the tough call to kill him in order to save Moira McTaggart. Even though it was the right move, Peter struggled with the morality of it afterward. Early in his time with the X-Men, he also developed a strong connection with Kitty Pryde. They dated briefly, but even after the romance ended, they remained close friends. At one point, Peter was nearly killed in a fight with Mystique's Brotherhood of Mutants, but was saved thanks to Rogue and a Morlock healer. Later, during the Secret War storyline, he fell for an alien healer named Saji. That experience made him realize he didn't truly love Kitty the way he thought he did, so he ended things with her. Heartbroken, he ended up getting into a bar fight with Juggernaut. When the Marauders attacked the underground-dwelling Morlocks in the Mutant Massacre, Colossus went all in to help. After seeing Kitty seriously hurt by Harpoon, Peter lost it and killed Riptide in a rage. However, his own injuries caught up with him and he passed out. Magneto and Shadowcat helped heal his armored body, but the process left him paralyzed. He was sent to Muir Island to recover alongside Nightcrawler, Kitty, and some of the surviving Morlocks. Peter eventually healed, but he was stuck in his metal form unless he focused really hard. When he learned the X-Men were in a do-or-die fight in Dallas during the fall of the mutants, he had his sister teleport him to the scene. Since Destiny hadn't seen him dying in her vision, he figured he had to be there. Colossus ended up sacrificing himself with the rest of the team to stop the adversary, but Roma revived them all. After that, they let the world think they were dead and continued their work from a hidden base in Australia. After the Inferno event, Illyana got turned back into a kid, so Peter figured it was best for her to go back to Russia and live with their parents. Later, he caught up with Nereel in the Savage Land and met her son, only to find out the kid wasn't his, which was a pretty big bummer. Then the X-Men started falling apart. Rogue disappeared, Wolverine left, Longshot quit, and Storm was thought to be dead. Psylocke encouraged the remaining team members to go through the Siege Perilous for a fresh start. Peter came out of it in New York with no memory of his past and began a new life as Peter Nicholas, a successful artist. He started having visions of a woman who turned out to be Callisto, altered by Mask. After the Morlocks kidnapped him, Peter got his powers back, took down Mask, and was saved by Forge, Banshee, and Jean Grey. They decided to let him keep living his new life instead of pulling him back into all the chaos. Unfortunately, the Shadow King later took control of him and sent him after Stevie Hunter and Charles Xavier. To free him, Xavier had to wipe away the Peter Nicholas persona. Peter then helped out in a huge battle on Muir Island and officially rejoined the X-Men under Storm's Gold Team. Peter went back to the Savage Land and found out Nereel's kid wasn't his, which hit him hard. Then things got even messier when he and the X-Men discovered his older brother Mikhail was alive in another dimension, worshipped like a messiah. Mikhail returned to Earth, haunted by guilt, and led the Morlocks into what he thought was a mass suicide for redemption. Though he survived and moved the Morlocks to another dimension, Peter was left heartbroken and blamed himself. Back in Siberia, Peter's parents were killed, and Illyana was kidnapped by the Russian government for experiments to boost her powers. With the X-Men's help, Peter rescued her, but soon after, she died from the legacy virus. Well, that's it for today. What part of his journey do you think would make the most compelling focus for a standalone movie? Please drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more deep dives and movie updates. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you in our next video.